Alright guys, today we're going to talk about how to tame a ferret. I know how hard it can be with a new ferret. Believe it or not, Bear here used to be absolute terror and used to terrorize us by biting and pouncing and scratching and what we thought was really aggressive behavior. But now, as you can see, he's really tame, and there are a few things that you can do to get your ferrets to this stage as well. Rule number 1, be patient. When a ferret comes home with you, it will test you. It's like any relationship. You need to see where the boundaries are and what you can get away with and what you can't get away with. And ferrets are exactly the same, but on steroids. So they will test you and see what they can get away with. Often they bite as well. One important thing to do is to make sure that you do not hurt them, as this is a crucial time for bonding, and even though they might bite you and nip you and do all those kind of things, you don't want them to lose trust in you. Also, put yourself in the ferret's shoes. Your ferret has just been taken from a familiar place and they're suddenly in a place that is full of new smells and full of people poking and prodding them, and the area might be much bigger than what they are used to. This is what the world looks like from the ferret's perspective. Pretty big and scary. For lots of different reasons, they're scared and they're unfamiliar with where they're at. So it's really important to be patient during this time while they familiarize themselves with your home, with you, with your children, with your other pets, with any smells. It can take months for a new ferret to get used to you and your home. Look at his little feet. Ta-da. Rule number 2, make sure that they have plenty of exercise, a great quality diet, and lots of good quality sleep. Ferrets should get around 4 hours minimum of exercise per day. Any less and that can lead to behavioural problems such as biting or nipping. Ferrets sleep for 18 hours a day. Make sure that their sleep is really good quality by making sure that when they sleep it's dark, it's quiet, they're uninterrupted. Everyone wakes up better when they've had a good sleep, and so do ferrets. A good diet is essential for a ferret's overall well-being. Rule number 3, give them lots of love and tender loving care. Oh, yes, I love you, Bear. Handle them a lot. Give them cuddles and kisses, even though they might not want to. When your ferret is very skittish and wants to get onto the ground, just hold them for a little bit longer and let them go when you're ready to let them go. Try to hold them longer and longer each time. Make ferrets feel secure. When you pick up your ferret, make sure that you do so confidently and hold them close towards you so that they don't feel like you're going to drop them. The ferrets like to be snuggled up against each other, like to be in nooks and crannies and all those kind of things, and they like to feel the feeling of being secure. So the closer you hold them and to yourself, the better and more confident they will feel with you. Rule number 4, do not let them get away with bad behavior. Let them know when they are being naughty. If they're biting or nipping you, do a big firm no, scruff them, and then put them back into a cage or a pet carrier, which can be their naughty cage. Alternatively, do the same, the no, scruff, and then just ignore them. Also think about whether or not you're encouraging the bad behavior. It could be that you're getting them too excited, and ferrets get excited very easily, so you might be getting them all wound up, which makes them attack you more. If that is the case, then stop before they get too excited. When you're telling them off, are you doing something that's making them think that you telling them off is actually a game? For example, a lot of people might go no and then wave the finger in front of the ferret's nose, and the ferret just thinks it's a game. If you go like that, it's like, oh my gosh, it's something to chase. Are you rewarding your ferret's bad behavior? Perhaps you're picking a ferret up when it bites you on the foot, and that's exactly what it wants, and then you're kissing it and cuddling it, going, oh, little baby. Well, that's rewarding your ferret for bad behavior, and guess what? It's just going to continue it. Another thing to keep in mind is your own energy. Are you sending out nervous energy or fearful energy towards your ferret? Because if so, then your ferret will act accordingly, and a lot of the time they will... Shut up, birds! And a lot of the time... It worked! And a lot of the time they will actually take advantage of your energy. So your energy has to be that of a confident person that knows what they're doing. And when you pick up a ferret, when you commit yourself to picking up your ferret, do so without backing up, even if they bite. A few things that you can do when you first bring your ferret home are let it out of its cage and let it sniff the house and sniff everything. Sit on the ground with it and just let it sniff you all over so that it can get familiar with your smell. Another thing that you can do is appeal to its sense of smell and put a t-shirt that you worn that day into its cage so that it can sleep on it and get familiar with your smell overnight. Another good thing to do is if your ferret is biting you or nipping you, then you can yelp, eek, or elk, or any other kind of high-pitched noise, because that is what ferrets do when they play and someone's getting too rough. They yelp. Another good trick is if a ferret's getting too rough, just lay your hand over them and make them sit still. That's what big ferrets do with little ferrets. They pretty much just sit on them to make them calm down. Another thing you can do if your ferret is getting too aggressive is scruff it. And just keep it scruffed like that until it calms down. And if it keeps being naughty, then keep scruffing it for longer and longer periods of time. Bear's not being naughty, he's being a good boy. He's being so good, he's just falling asleep. You can use gloves or wrap them in a towel so that you don't get hurt, especially if they're drawing blood. However, slowly wean them off the gloves and the towel so that they don't get used to you just handling them through the gloves or through the towel. You want them to get used to you handling them with your bare hands, because that's what you intend to do for the rest of their lives. Try to play lots of games with them. One of our ferret's favourite games is when we make the bed and we fluff the sheets and they all scramble under the sheets. You can try something like that, or get a stick, attach some string to it with a bit of with a ball at the end and jiggle it in front of their faces. Lots of toys and games are a great way to bond with your ferret. If you're stuck for ideas, you can look up the ebook that I've written, 101 Ferret Games and Homemade Ferret Toys. And it's filled full of great ideas, and it only costs $10. If your ferret likes treats, then reward it for good behaviour. If you have a little bit of a Nutri-Gel and they sit in your arms for a little bit longer, give them a bit of Nutri-Gel to lick, and that'll just reward their good behaviour. Most importantly, handle your ferrets as much as possible. Hold them, give them cuddles and hugs and kisses, everything. Don't always let them get down onto the floor when they want to. Hold them for longer and longer each time so that they can get used to you handling them. The younger the ferret, the crazier it will be. Older ferrets tend to calm down over time. However, it just depends on the ferret's personality and what they're like. Bear used to be a very naughty boy when he was younger, but now that he's older, he has calmed down significantly to the point where he just falls asleep in your lap pretty much. So every now and then he has a bite of your nose if you bring it too close, but he really is a really good boy. So ferrets can be tamed. It's not hard. You just need patience, and you need to give them lots of love so that they can learn to trust you and can learn to love you as well. Ferrets are very loving and caring animals, and with the right care and with lots of love, you will get plenty of love back, and they will eventually sit in your arms, even if it is for 1 second. Thank you for watching today's video. Make sure that you subscribe to the channel. If you have any questions whatsoever, please let me know, and I'll try to get back to them or make a video about them as soon as I can.